But no, I think, yeah, I have limits to my dabbles that I will do, but I think just showing up genuinely, like, and repeatedly. I don't know how many amazing relationships I have with so many small businesses, and not that you do it for like perks or love or whatever, but it's like that's what you get. That's how it ends up being when you show up genuinely and you really like pour into other people and they see you for that. People want to give back to you. People want to give you a better experience. And that's why I think I do have like this rosy colored glass version of my city, because it is so wonderful for me. But it wasn't because it didn't just happen like inorganically. Like it happened over a long period of time and with a lot of concerted effort. And it's like I didn't really realize that's what I was doing. Like as a young adult, like you don't realize like, oh, that is how you build community. But then once you finally catch on, you're like, oh, that's right. You were doing it all along. And then now it's been really easy to continue. So.
Scared rabbit, they've got you boxed in. Old habit, you draw the curtain. Lonely only if they ever leave.
Hello, my name is Michael Zarick, and this is Third Space Indy. In 1989, a man named Ray Oldenburg wrote a book called The Great Good Place. In this book, he coined the term the third place. And what this is a place outside of your home and outside of your work where you can go build community, be with others, and just be. So I have made it my goal to find people all over Indianapolis who are doing their very best to create spaces like this.
Yeah.
And so today, my guest is Jalen Roseberry.
Hello.
Your title just changed, so I really don't know. You're like
I'm the executive director now of DATHOUSE.
Big hot shit.
Yeah,
down in.
That is.
Oh wait, that sounds negative.
No, it doesn't. It is a flaming hot dumpster fire. That is. No, it's a new transition, and it's chaos, and it's good, and it's exciting, and I feel on fire sometimes.
Does the average person know of it as that house, or is it the average person just know it as Lincoln Lane Coffee?
Correct.
Okay.
Lincoln Lane is typically what people know us for or will come in for, because we're decently advertised as a local indie coffee shop, especially if you're familiar with the South Side. But in general, people come in for coffee and then realize like, oh, this is a part of a bigger story here.
When I walked, so I was here a couple weeks ago with Savannah Jacob.
Yes, FJ.
And when I walked in, I said, oh, there's laundry in here. And that was like, oh, that was like my light bulb moment. I was like, oh, there's like stuff. I knew there was stuff that went on here, but then it was like, when you see laundry, that I think is a different thing. Like it's almost like a home away from home. And actually, I met someone who I got coffee with who was like, Michael, I wish there was a place I could go and do laundry with my friends and hang out. And
you were like, oh.
I need to actually message her about this.
And also, I do believe Loom, right, in Broad Ripple is that.
Oh, in Sobro?
Yeah.
I've never actually gone inside of Loom.
I'm pretty sure that, there's also laundry and cocktails. Like
I knew there were cocktails.
Yeah, so there's also laundry there. So North Side, got your laundry and hang out there. South Side, we got you covered.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
So how did you stumble into your new spot?
Wow. That's a perfect way to describe how I've gotten most of my
I feel like most of your life is this.
Yeah.
We're going to get into that a little bit.
Yeah, but no, I did stumble into this role by just being here for a very long time and having love and passion for this space and the idea of community and I've always said third spaces as well. So I know came from third place, but I've always, loved and been really passionate about third spaces in general. So came in as a coffee shop patron back in 2017, and now I'm an executive director. So there was a lot of levels in between that. But
so you don't live in Bates Hendricks where we are.
No.
So how did you come in as a patron enough to get a job here?
Yeah. So because I was graduating college that weekend, and we used to go like hang out at different coffee shops. We were pretty early on, and like we were the hipsters of the coffee shop scene back in the day. And so we used to go just try and find different coffee shops. And this one had come up, and it had only been open for like 6 months. And I was like, how did I not know that this was like right over here? Because I am historically a South Sider, grew up on this side of town. So I was like, how did I not know this was my backyard? It's like 8 minutes away from me. So came in and found it and just had a really wonderful experience with our volunteers that were behind the bar at the time. And I was like, this is so great. And I'm going to come back every week. And then I did.
And then you never left.
And then I never, ever left. And it has a chokehold on me, and I'm here now. So
When I came in last time, you were doing taxes.
yeah.
So it is truly has a chokehold on you.
Yeah. No, it's not. Like, there are a lot of great parts, and there's a lot of learning parts that I'll be doing.
What has your role like changed as a result of like running the place, or are you doing a lot of the same stuff other
Yeah.
than taxes?
Both. So before I was more just managing all of the initiatives that are in the building, so kind of more of like operations building manager. So managing the coffee shop, the laundromat, the co-working space. We have one of those upstairs. We also have multiple private offices in our co-working spaces and in the back of our building. So like managing all of that was kind of my day-to-day. And now the exciting part about that is now I have built up a really good team to take over like the managing of the coffee shop, which is the huge to-do in itself, much less run the rest of the building. So having that taken care of, now I can help manage some of these other things, but I also can do the community stuff where I get to actually go do more of the relationship building and the connecting and the resources and the things and the people. Like, I feel like I'm really, that's my strength. Like, people are my purpose. So to be able to like kind of get out from behind the bar and do that is mostly where I feel like the biggest change is going to be. And then the learning curve of all of the backside of running a nonprofit, which that's the part I'm not looking forward to at all.
I think there's a lot of that sentiment in the nonprofit space where it's like, oh my God,
It's very challenging.
I got into this to like help children, and now I'm filling out grant forms all day.
Yeah, exactly. Anyone in the nonprofit world can commiserate about that, but it is part of the work, and it's something we must do. So we do it.
So what is like, actually I'm gonna ask the question from the previous guest sooner than I would otherwise, but before then, can you tell me like, give me like a giant overview of that house?
Oh,
And
sure.
like what your view of it, like what do you,
Yeah, so that house has had many
is
iterations.
it dat or that?
Dat,
Okay.
D-A-T.
Okay, that's
So,
what I thought. I
yeah.
just didn't want to sound like a fool when I said it.
No, Dat House, like Dat House over there is very funny. And it's a fun acronym, and it's a fun thing to say. But Dat House stands for 3 Greek words, doulos, agape, and tapinao, which is servant, love, and humility. So that is the dat of the house. So, and the house it originated out of a double here on East Street in Bates Hendricks. It was a group of neighbors that truly just wanted to help and see their community be built up and be more in community with each other. And so it was a concerted effort to do that. And we didn't get this space until 2011. And then it took about 2.5 years of remodeling and getting it up to snuff to be a community space in 2014. But all that to say that house has truly just been a community building nonprofit. That is like the most baseline way I can describe us, because it has changed a lot over the years, as does a community and as does your neighborhood, as the economy changes, as your neighbors come in and out, and the city in general growing, and certain neighborhoods being affected by that. And historically here in the South Side, we're a lower socioeconomic neighborhood, and really our goal was to build a healthy mixed income neighborhood, because we were seeing gentrification happen so swiftly and at a rate that we weren't able to really help, counterbalance it. So that was really one of our missions for a long time, and it still very much is, but we've kind of been plowing through the gentrification part of it. But essentially, yeah, like that house is a space for neighbors and by neighbors, and whatever it's needed to look like as the neighborhood has changed, we've just tried to respond and adapt. And that's how we got our laundromat, was where the gym is across the street. That used to be a laundromat. That closed down. Our neighbors were in a pinch, didn't have a way to do their laundry. So we said, okay, we'll try to do a little laundromat. The co-working space was a result of COVID, of people saying, oh my gosh, we need a place outside of our homes to be able to work because we're dying in here, or our children are not helping us get our work done. Imagine that. So we created a co-working space. One of our community members who rents our offices in the back is our behavioral therapy company, Supportive Community Innovations, and they've been partnered with us for a couple years now, and that was a need. Like, he really loved our mission and our space, and he's like, we would love to be able to set up a home base here for our clients. And we said, okay, and we converted our 2 back rooms into offices. So we really, truly are just, we started having a need again we used to have Toddler Tuesdays back in the day, and we had a lot of young families. Well, now it looks like we have a ton of young families, and I know last time you were here, it was a lot more ruckus and going on because we had a ton of kiddos and babies and dogs and everything happening, and that's kind of what the day-to-day is like. So yeah, we are truly kind of just a responsive, adaptive community building nonprofit.
Yeah. Did you ever watch that old animated movie, Robots?
Yeah.
There's the line they always said like over and over again, see a need, fill a need.
Correct.
That's like just like you.
I love that. That's perfect. That's a very great way to describe that house. So I know that was like the longest roundabout way of describing, but we're just so multifaceted that that's always been a challenge, is our storytelling and really getting our message out about what we are and who we are, because we don't have any specifics. So we're truly just like a grab bag of like, you need something? Sure, we'll figure it out. And you're
here in service of the people who live here, which is the...
and hopefully beyond. Like, it's not just Bates. Like we always say, we're like to the Indy proper, or if there's someone somewhere that needs a space that makes sense for it to be here, then we love that. And our biggest asset is our space, because we're a very small team. It's me, and we have, like I said, Emily, our new coffee shop manager, and then we have our baristas that are part-time and help out. And other than that, that's it. And we make it happen. So yeah, like being able to leverage our space and use it, that's the biggest thing that we can offer. So
I love that.
Yeah.
So normally I ask this at the very end, but I'm gonna ask it right now. It's topical.
Oh.
So every episode I ask a question from the previous guest. The previous guest is Naya Anthony, who's the founder of Sapphic Social Indy.
Yeah.
And she asks, how do you think of your own leadership, and how does that manifest for you?
Wow, that's a good question. My own leadership, I have to say, I feel like I've imposter syndrome.
Who does not, frankly?
And it's funny because literally as a young adult, when like I was just I used to work actually for a program under Lilly, so more corporate philanthropy side, so very different world. And I used to always say like, yeah, I don't really see myself being an executive director. Like, I don't see myself being in charge of an op. I was like, that just doesn't, I'm like, I'm really a supportive, like, I don't know, like the #1 team builder type of person. And I love being the second in command and like following out, orders. And then here I am, just a mere few years later, and I am now in leadership. So, and everyone that I have said like, yeah, I did feel impostery about it, or I feel like that I didn't necessarily want to be in that position, they all say that probably will make me a good leader, which I hope so. But I'm very much I know everyone has different learning styles. I have and just because we work with so many types of people and individuals around here, that like I think it has really helped me to be like, as long as the job gets done in a good way, please carry it out in the way that makes sense for you. Like, there are of course standards, but it's not a free-for-all. But at the same time, I really can say like I feel like it's been really good that I've been challenged to learn how to delegate a lot, which asking for help in general, or like, that was a big learning task of being a manager over the last 4 years of running the shop, and got a lot better at that. But yeah, and learning how to over communicate too, just because we are, even though we're a small team, because we all have so many other like playing parts in our lives and have other responsibilities, like we can't over communicate enough, just because we all have so much going on. Like, there's so many things that can just, oh my gosh, I forgot to tell you that, and then little slips through the cracks there, so to speak. So
when I was talking about over communication, we used to call, when I was in leadership at my summer camp years and years ago, we came up with the acronym SCAT, which is gross, but it stood for simple communication all the time.
Yeah.
And we got it on like, I think I still have the mug. It
That's
just says
great.
scat on the mug.
That's good.
And it's like, just like talking about, because it used to be like things would fall through the cracks. So instead of just like saying something and expecting someone to hear you out and remember it, it's like keep telling them over and over
Absolutely.
and over again. So they just like, you cannot ignore me.
Yeah.
Which I guess is also carried over into professional life too, because a lot of times you got to reach out to people multiple times.
Yeah, you got a
before they hear you.
little tap,
Yeah.
little nudge, and remind them. And
So
I guess to round out that question, I think my leadership style is like just hopefully a humble and benevolent person.
that's what we can all wish for ourselves.
Yes, and hopefully people feel comfortable coming to me and talking to me. And I don't know. There's a lot more. I try to just let things not be a catastrophe or like a big deal, I guess, or let it, I don't know, just because there's so much bigger things happening in the world. So sometimes it's like one of our employees, she's like, I broke another espresso shot glass. And I was like, I broke a jar last week and a syrup pump. So that's okay, we'll get more, and like some people, like maybe that would have been a bigger to do. And it's just like, I don't care about a shot glass. Like, I think it'll be okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like to be I feel like I'm very millennial in that way. It's like we've been through too many like world just catastrophes and travesties that I'm like.
And we are of the generation who gets to watch it all too. Like that's the other, it's like it's pushed into your brain by the little dopamine machines we carry around.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely.
What's like your biggest, on the other hand, like biggest concern with your new role? I know it's hard.
Probably just it's always to do with me. I feel like I'm like, maybe I'm a narcissist, but I'm humble and benevolent, but I'm also a narcissist.
When you are the head of are you the only full-time employee?
Correct.
Okay,
Yes.
so I feel like when you're in that position, it becomes in a lot of ways about
It's more so I'm just like, I'm scared of failing my community. That is one of my, I think that's my bit, like, and like, it's like, it's failure. It's like, no one, and every single person that we told that like, yes, this is session plan and Jalen's stepping in, and like, literally no one blinked an eye and we're like, oh yeah, that's absolutely the thing that makes sense. And it's just like, everyone else can, and it's like, no one else has any doubts, and it's all just me, going back to the very first statement of like, are you sure you want me to do this job? But like, I have been doing it, and I've done it for, I've been doing the same work. It's just, switching my day-to-day a little bit. So, but also my biggest concern always is, as a small nonprofit, funding.
Yeah.
Because we don't have grant writers. I didn't actually go to school for this and as a lot of grant writers know, it's very, particular, and you got to make sure you're writing what they want to see and hear, and making sure that you have a lot of data and things like that. And when you're small, it's hard to do a lot of that in-depth tracking and being really precise on reporting. And like I said, we already struggle with our storytelling of like saying like who we are and what we are. So yeah, there's a lot that goes into that. And we're mostly supported truly by our business sponsors, who are like our neighbors, our local community members that they sponsor us. And then we have personal donors. And then outside of that, it's just revenue from bringing in from our initiatives and other people, or like, and the people that pay rent and things like that keep us sufficient. So always funding is a concern.
Yeah.
So, if you want to give, whether that's your time, talent, or your treasure, you come on down and you see me. And
I've never heard someone use the word treasure in that context.
Yeah,
that's so funny.
That's very much a philanthropy term. It's time, talent, and treasure.
We used to, I probably shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it. The old CEO of the YMCA in Louisville, we used to call him the Dragon.
Oh, like Smaug, and he's sitting on the treasure.
Yes.
I
don't know if he
actually
was. I don't know if he was actually paid that well, but it was the running joke. We just used to call him the Dragon.
Yeah, that's fun.
Because of his treasure.
I do love dragons. So,
so let's switch speeds, or I always say pivot. I get on my own nerves by saying pivot.
Shift.
When we met, let me tell the story.
Oh yeah.
It was really short. It's not even a long story, but we shout out to Casey Springer.
Woo! Yes.
My goat. We walk Indy.
Yes.
I can't use the other term.
No. It's forbidden. Forbidden.
I showed up to her last walk of last year, and you happened to be there. And I do not remember how we ended up speaking. I think
I was probably just talking. in a circle, and you probably heard
I
me
do
say
recall there being a
something
cute dog
crazy.
and me probably mentioning the cute dog.
Artie, I think
and
it
then
was.
Why do you know that?
Because it's Sophie's dog.
I think what it also was is there was that group that was like the gym group.
Yeah.
And
The
then
Anytime Fitness group.
Anytime Fitness, and then everyone else, and
Yes.
we were part of the everyone else. So that's why I walked over to you because I was like, I don't know.
You're like, I don't know what's going on.
And the thing that you said to me was, it's not the word cereal. There's a different word, but you said effectively, I am a serial dabbler.
Yeah.
What's the word you used?
Oh my god.
The word dabbler was definitely used.
No, absolutely. Oh my. I say this all the time, and now
I've caught you
that
out.
you've caught me, oh. But yeah, no, I'm like a chronic dabbler, a serial dabbler, oh my god, this is gonna drive me insane. I'll report back, everyone, when I remember what.
I'm gonna put it on the. I always post the like promo image. Instead of like DATHOUSE, it's gonna be serial or whatever the word is, dabbler, just under your name.
Oh my god. Ultimate.
Ultimate.
That's what it was.
Okay.
I'm the ultimate dabbler.
Ultimate dabbler.
That's what it is.
That makes sense.
Thank you.
What is your? What are you dabbling in right now? Unless
Oh,
have you been?
sorry.
Has
For
your
people
job?
that
Has your
don't-
job absorbed you?
Not quite yet.
Okay, good. Then
No.
you have still dabbling.
Yes. So I sit on I'm secretary of 2 other nonprofit boards. So that always keeps me busy. So I sit on If Theater's board. So if you've never been to an If Theater show, or
Let the people
better
know what that is
known
first.
as If Theater is a nonprofit theater, and it's also known better as Indie Fringe. But we have rebranded as the theater as If Theater, home of the Indie Fringe Festival. But we are a year-round producing theater, so definitely go check out some shows. Bat Boy the Musical is coming up here soon, this month and into March, so that's really fun and should be a good time. And then I also sit on the board of West Indy Development, which is the low-income housing nonprofit for the Indy's West Side, where I am a resident. So I thought it would be important to get to know my actual community in which I live in a little better and more closely. And so I sit over there and do that. And then I have a dance party coming up. I'm throwing my 1-year anniversary party, Cat Calls at Guide and Anchor. I work as I bartend at 8th Day Distillery.
Forgot about that.
Yeah, and First Friday is tomorrow, so I'll be there on Friday, and also working Frigid Digits and Silent Book Club over there this month. So that's probably
You're
the
also
most.
like a big activity. Or didn't you like do like? Weren't you on like pickleball?
Oh,
or
I
something?
play bocce.
Oh, bocce ball.
Yeah, it's a little chilly for bocce at the moment, unless you play the indoor version. But I play, yes, with the Italian Heritage Society here in Indy in their league, and then I used to play table
It
tennis.
never once struck me that bocce ball is Italian in origin, but that makes
Oh,
perfect
it
sense.
certainly
It
is.
sounds very Italian.
Oh, yeah. You should have like red wine in your hand while you play. It's good. Or a
It
cannoli.
is true. It sounds like something you'd watch on like Meet the Parents or like in that type of thing,
It's
or
so
like
good.
a Stanley Tucci movie where he's
Yeah.
holding.
Oh,
holding a
he
glass
would
of
be
wine.
perfect to play bocce. Like quintessential. But yeah, so like bocce, table tennis, We Walk. Yeah, like I am a lead for We Walk Indy. So walking club things. Yeah, I go to a Zumba class here and there. Like truly, like if there's a fun random activity that's happened in the city, I also kayak a lot. Shout out Frank's Livery. They've even considered giving me my own discount code because I go so much when it's nice out, because why are we not using our beautiful, lovely water? Like we have a body of water in our backyard.
One of my previous guests, Ed Fujawa, always makes fun of the White River. He's a huge waterway guy.
Yeah.
Like, loves waterways, but he like uses the word navigable in quotes all the time. He goes, the navigable White River. It's
Yes,
like-
there is certain parts that are not navigable at all. Indeed, yes. But I be on the White River. My goal is I want to, especially in Indiana, I want to try to like hit all like kayak.
Have you hooked up with
my
the
way
White
down.
River? Is it coalition or?
Like Indy Parks Alliance and like Friends of White River.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah. I've talked to. I don't think I'm connected with them personally.
Yeah.
I've chatted with them at some events for like Indy Parks and things. So
So this is just a small
small teeny weeny.
subsect of the amount of activities you have mentioned to me previously. What about like, I love
I-
the word dabble, by the way. It's so funny.
When I
Like,
hear
how
it
did
out
you
loud,
become
it's crazy.
this type of person? What have you
Oh
done
my
to yourself?
God. That's a good question, because I've had so many people, I'm not even saying this, but like most people's comment to me about me is, you're something else. That's usually like the nicest and most general statement that I get.
Can I speak on this for myself?
Yes.
Just to interrupt.
Of course.
When I lived in Arkansas, I used to go to this pizza place called Pizza Ruby all the time.
Mhm.
And this is a self-admission. I have to put this out there because it's a deep shame, but also a great joy of mine. I spent like $1,400 at this pizza shop
That's
in
beautiful.
like 2023.
That's really community support,
Like a
guys.
lot of money.
That's what I hear.
Amazing pizza. Anyways, but I got invited by one of the employees to go to music bingo one night.
Oh my God, singo?
No singing
it's
involved.
song bingo. So music, sorry,
It was
it's like they call it
like you
singo.
mark off the song when it plays.
singo, that's so
I guess we
fun.
did sing sometimes, but anyways, when I showed up, they were like, I did not expect you to come. And I was like, why?
What do you
I was
mean?
like, you invited me.
Yeah, I'm like, what do you mean? Of course I'm
And
here.
I think that's probably you and I are aligned in this way. It's like, if you ask me to go to a thing, it's like, I'm going to show
I'm
up.
probably gonna show up.
Especially if I say yes, like
Yeah,
I
if I
wouldn't
say
lie to you.
Exactly. No, like I'm one of those, imagine this, guys, a weird person that when they say, sure, I'll be there, they show up. Gasp. Imagine that. I know. And I think that is so surprising. And but I think that's the community mindset. Like that's what one of the biggest things community taught me. Like community changed my life. Like I said, this is an ode to the coffee shop that changed my life. Like I came in and literally like people that did not know me from like, like from Sam, we have no other reason to like be around each other and do this other than like we love and care about each other because we're other human beings that share space together. And like people have showed up for me time and time again. And I think it's like that showing up part is a lot harder and more rare, unfortunately, than I think it should be. And it should just be a lot easier, I think, to just commit to people.
Do you ever watch the Jim Carrey movie Yes Man?
I have. It's been a very long time.
Terrible.
But yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's a really bad movie, but long time ago. But the premise of the movie is that he just says yes to everything in a lot of ways, and how it opens so many doors for him. And
That's true.
I think that's sort of happened to me over the past year, and maybe that's why you're such a serial dabbler, is because you're just like willing to say yes.
I think, no, that's brilliant. I think that's exactly good and correct way. Sometimes I need other people to help lead me to my thoughts. And I think that's like I always encourage young people too. I said every job I've ever gotten was because I just went, like someone gave me an opportunity or said, you should come to this, or you should volunteer, or you should come. And like, I just did. And I didn't know there was so many, like, I didn't know that I would love bocce. Like, who would know that you would love rolling balls? And like, it would be so competitive and like bring me so much joy at the same time. And like,
Isn't bocce ball just like curling, but on grass?
Yeah, essentially. And like kind of like, like bowling and cornhole and curling all in one. Yeah. But no, it's just like, there's just so many things that I did not know that I would love kayaking. And I find it's like one of my happiest places is being like out on the river and like spending time like just with water and nature in that way. And like, yeah, there's just so many things that I'm like, just say yes to the opportunities. And I've ended up in so many fun places and met so many interesting and knowledgeable and wonderful people. And then it comes full circle and they've shown up for me in ways that I could have never imagined. And yeah, it's a humble life, but it's a really pretty one.
What's the if you've already answered, that's okay, but
No,
what's one of your activities that you've gotten into that you would have like never expected to enjoy, but like totally did a 180 on? Or maybe what's one that you didn't?
That I didn't like love after I tried it.
Maybe both. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't know, because there's certain things that I know that like I'm not even, there are, like I say I'm ultimate dabbler, but I guess I do have limits because there's certain things that I'm just like, I don't think I know that I don't think I'll like that. Like I'm just not much, okay, I know, and there's like the cult following of being a climber here in the city. I know, and I'm
That's
sorry.
so funny. It's
But,
it's
like,
really funny that you
it's
say
not
that,
my
considering we
jam.
live in one of the flattest states. Oh, that's not true.
I
One of
mean,
the flattest parts of the
Sure,
state.
but yeah, but like all the climbing gyms and like, and I love it. And I think it's such a cool thing but like that does not bring me joy. I'm scared.
I love
and
bouldering.
it hurts my body. And I love, and like, again, that is, and like water things or like skiing or like snow activity. Oh, you want me to tear my ACL and be freezing at the same time? That sounds like not fun.
Agreed.
So
Would you go tubing?
Like on snow or
Yeah,
water?
like snow.
I was like,
Are you anti-cold?
no, I'm not anti-cold.
Okay.
I still like, I'll go outside and walk. I like hiking in the winter. I like being in a hot tub in the winter.
It was 24 degrees 2 days ago, and it felt
Incredible.
like it was 60.
Yeah,
the
sun
this
was
is
out.
the best day of my life.
Yeah, I was walking in the sun and I was like, am I sweating? I know. It was beautiful. But no, I think, I have limits to my dabbles that I will do. But I think saying and just showing up genuinely, like, and repeatedly. Like, I don't know how many amazing relationships I have with so many small businesses, and not that you do it for like perks or love or whatever, but it's like that's what you get. That's how it ends up being when you show up genuinely and you really like pour into other people, and they see you for that. Like, people want to give back to you. People want to give you a better experience. And like, I don't know. And that's why I'm like, I think I do have like this rosy colored glass version of my city because it is so wonderful for me, but it wasn't because it didn't just happen like inorganically. Like it happened over a long period of time and with a lot of concerted effort. And it's like, I didn't really realize that's what I was doing. Like as a young adult, like you don't realize like, oh, that is how you build community. But then once you finally catch on, you're like, oh, that's right. You were doing it all along. And then now it's been really easy to continue.
That's
so.
Funny. What was I gonna say?
Sorry, I can go on like monologues.
You're allowed to do that.
I can monologue and make you forget every word that you
I think a lot of times people get self-conscious about talking too much on my podcast, but it's like that's the purpose.
Cut me off when you need to. I'm like, I'll go until you talk. I'm like, I tell people, I'll talk. My one thing I say is like, I can talk a face off a horse. Like literally, like their face will just slide right off onto the ground.
That's a gruesome image.
Ah, gluey. And then also I'll say I'll talk to like a rock on the side of the road. I don't care. I was like, may never say I talk to my cat. We have great conversations.
One of the other things I really associate with you is the you introduced yourself this way to me, which is that you are like a dance party runner, which you mentioned in your serial dabbling.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about that? Like why?
How it happened?
Just any of that. I don't even know how to ask the question really.
It's called Cat Calls, and it was just this little brain baby I had in my head, and I was sitting at the bar at 8th Day, because even though I work there, I still hang out there because that is truly one of my most favorite like third spaces was one of my huge communities, just like this place was before.
Can I give them a shout out? Last time I was at 8th Day, which I don't drink that often, but I was there after the Safe Streets protest. Yeah. They had star sign cocktails. Yeah. And the one for Libra, which is me, was like perfect for me. I was like, this is amazing.
Love
Wonderful.
it.
Matched up.
Great cocktails and mocktails if you don't drink. So we have great community, and we love everyone to be able to hang out there, except for babies. You have to be 21. Sorry. Babies are at Lincoln. No babies at ED.
Babies, you have your own spaces.
Yeah. Stay there. But all I have to say, I was sitting at the bar with SJ and Joey. Shout out to Guide and Anchor, lovely design studio, and has done so many amazing brands and branding and visuals and all the things you can think of to make your stuff look amazing. We were just sitting there at the bar, and I had mentioned, I was like, wouldn't that be just so fun to have like a party called Cat Calls? Like, doesn't that just like sound like a vibe? And I was like, it's like, I describe it as like the grown-up sleepover, like Cheetah Girls, Disney Channel, Lisa Frank, Libby, like literally like limited to like think of all the girly, fluffy, like just childhood nostalgia you can think of, and or like turn it into a party and just basically just like heal your inner child and give time to disassociate and be away from this crazy world. And I guess they went on a trip for New Year's because it was kind of towards the end of the year, and they came back and they were like, yeah, we were talking about all the things that we couldn't stop thinking about and like what we really wanted to do this year, and we would love to like throw this party and like make it a thing. And I was like, what? You think my idea is a good one? And
I think you have a couple of those.
I have maybe a couple few, but they and like and Joey had already even like drawn up some sketches of things that he was saying. It was just like I was just flabbergasted, and I thought that was absolutely amazing. And I said, wow, you really got to be careful about what you speak about out loud because it might just come true. And so now somehow, some way, we did one each season basically. So 4 parties last year, and it's the 1-year anniversary for Valentine's Day. So it's crazy.
Oh, that's the overlap. I totally missed that part. The Valentine's Day and the catcalls.
Yeah,
is
that
the
is.
same.
Yeah, it's on the day, and it's Friday the 13th, so it's gonna be like all the fun same. Like we have cheetah print. It's femme, queer, welcoming, forward, all queer women artists that are being played. So that's like a fun thing that makes us unique. Is like really celebrating, just women, because we're not all that loved and cared for all the time.
Can I tell you a story? So I went to the Monster Truck Rally this past weekend.
Oh, Monster Jam! I used
Monster
to go
Jam.
to that as a kid.
First of all,
I grew up as a hillbilly, so
it was lit.
it's so fun.
I was okay. Good. I knew the clientele that was going to walk into this place.
Oh yeah,
But also,
it's incredible.
it was way less. So when you go to a Colts, a lot of this is probably budget based, but like when you go to a Colts game, the opening ceremony of the Colts game is like so America centric, and I'm like, please.
You're like, okay.
I'm just like, I don't care that much.
Yeah.
So that was way less in your face than I expected it to be, especially at a
for
Monster
a Monster.
Truck Rally.
Yeah, sure.
It was just like big fuck off trucks.
There was like,
and I was
I
like,
know, yeah. And it's like,
like
it's like they want to rage.
and I was
They're
like,
not
this
here,
is awesome.
Like they came here to rage. I don't know if he's still around, but Gravedigger was and still is my favorite monster truck.
Gravedigger, I think, is everyone's favorite monster truck.
It should be.
Although the one that won when I was there was Gigatron, which it was also cool. Like it was a giant like.
I said, was it?
It looks like a construct. Oh my god.
No, I'm like, I love that.
Anyways, but you talk about women. They did this thing during the show, which was like, they have 2 women drivers, and they go, "Isn't it so great that a woman can drive a monster truck too?" I was like,
They said that?
Basically, it felt like that.
That's
where
hilarious.
I was like,
You're
what
like,
year is it, bro?
Imagine
I was
that.
like, no shit.
Women are driving trucks.
They should put there was a dude who had the biggest handlebar mustache.
Oh man.
And he looked like he drove like I was obsessed with him. He drove the lamest truck. I wish they put him in the unicorn truck.
Because there was bad. That would have been awesome.
Like it's like, can we be a little more fashion forward in the year 2026?
Truly. With
the monster truck jam.
That's funny.
I get it, but it was just like, I was just like, I was like, of course, of course women can drive monster trucks, but the way they're saying it, like something about the tone or like the wording, it's like not hitting for me.
Hit, yeah. It's okay. They tried. They're doing better.
All that said,
progress.
Monster Truck Jam, that ripped.
Yeah.
I was into that.
I used to go a lot as a kid. That was a fun time.
But
yeah, no, so it all was about women, and basically Catcalls is a space for women and queer folk, and everyone's invited. Don't get me wrong, like it is for everyone, but just know the assignment. Like the assignment is for like come knowing that like this is a party for us. You are more than welcome to be here, but do not try to disrupt.
Is there a theme other than gowns? Like, are you wanting people to wear?
Oh yeah, so like animal print is absolutely always like it's Cheetah Girls for life, but all animal print and anything. But basically, it's just like come as your best self. Like put that shit on that like you don't have that reason to normally wear it, or like you just need a moment to feel good, or like something that makes you feel great. And like just come as your best, sparkly, happiest self. And like that's whatever makes you feel the best. That is what it's for. But in general, like I said, animal print encourage. Loud, sparkly, glitter, whatever makes you happy. And generally, there's like a theme mixed in, and this one is like lovey and hearts and like or whatever Galentine's means to you.
You're hitting the weekend head on.
Yeah. So
the Valentine's weekend head on.
Yeah, and it's like I said, since it's Friday the 13th, feel free to put some spooky yuki in there too, like mixed with the Galentine's. So I'm like, I love that.
Did you say spooky yuki?
Spooky yuki. I have a lot of Jalenisms, as my friends say, so those might find a few more as you go back and edit.
We're gonna move into what I call the canned questions.
Canned
It's so windy.
questions. Yeah, well, we're close now. It's bad.
I don't have a watch. What time is it? 3:30. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know what the worst part about
we can
getting here
talk.
is the driving part.
Yeah.
I have to drive. It drives so far from where I live,
So
and then when I go back, it's gonna be rush hour, and I'm gonna want to die.
Yeah, you can always just like take a nap in the car and then drive.
I'm not doing that.
He said no way.
I do want to let everyone know that my car. So it snowed more than a week ago. My car was still covered in snow this morning. I said I
Yeah.
have to get to see Jalen.
I'm humbled by this very valiant gesture of cleaning his car
I would
off.
have ridden the bus, but it was like an hour and a half ride. So I was like, that is not
that's
happening.
a lot too. You can always leave your car here overnight and take the bus home and come
I could
back
do
and
that.
get it.
I could do that. Canned questions. Third Space Indy is sponsored by cityrising.org. Mark Lotta, the founders. Oh, do you know him?
Oh yeah, I know.
I
Mark
love when I say Mark Lotta and people's face lights up. It makes me happy.
Mark and Martha. We love them.
City Rising is a social impact studio that leads and supports innovative projects that strengthen, celebrate, and repair people and places.
Yes.
So if you're interested in improving your built environment, you're the leader of a place, or just somebody interested in improving your surrounding environment, reach out to me, reach out to Mark Lotta at cityrising.org, and we'll hook you up. Anyways, Mark has sponsored a question, which is, what is a third space to you?
Oh, I think it kind of goes along with probably what my question will be, but like, it's the same as what it means like to be a good neighbor. What a third space should, I feel like the energy I feel like it should embody. But because I actually did read like your little slide about
The thing I posted the other day.
Yeah,
Why was that so popular? I don't understand.
What was the gentleman's name?
Ray Oldenburg.
Ray Oldenburg, yes. But no, like, and I always say Mr. Rogers was the original good neighbor. So like anywhere that Mr. Rogers would be is a good third space. But no, I think kind of our tenets of what like a good neighbor is being peaceful, being kind, being generous, being community minded, and being ethical. And so that to me, anywhere that embodies that energy and has that in their heart and their mission, I feel like, and like, as you said, like anywhere that you spend outside of your work in your home that you show up to regularly, whether you feel like it's a third space or not, or I think a lot of people don't necessarily register like that is become like a community space for them or a third space. And it's like, no, that's exactly what that looks like, or that's how easy it is to build community. It's just keep returning to those places and talking to the people that also show up there, and I think you'll be surprised at how quick your little community blossoms. All warm, fuzzy stuff.
Good answer.
I know, I'm very cheesy.
No,
I
good
can't help
answer.
it.
Good answer. Sorry, these little things on the windowsill are so cool.
Yeah, that's
Like-
shout out to our local artists. We do feature local artists. We do 3-month rotations, so I guess once a quarter.
Fairy doors.
We call
What
them
they're called?
fairy houses
Fairy
or fairy jars.
Mm.
And you can put candles in them and have them glow and be just so sweet and nice. But Jenny Blue Blanchard does a lot of cool stuff like that, as well as propagation stations, as she calls them. We can put your little plants on and hang them up. Yeah. And other fun things. So.
Next question, related.
Mm-hmm.
What is a third space that has existed for you previously that no longer does?
Sorry.
Your face,
I
you're
did a
like
crazy face.
Silent screams.
Because so many, sorry. I talk a lot through my face, so it's interesting to like remember that some people will not be seeing my face at all. It's just my voice. That's not there anymore.
It doesn't have to physically not be there. It just has to not be present in your life. But it could also have it disappeared. I don't know.
So R.I.P. Mochi Joy. Because Tom and Rachel, they're still my people, 1000%. But Mochi Joy and the opportunities, Oh, and Beast. Oh my God. I used to work.
What is that?
I used to work for Beast. Our shouts out to Casey Alexander as well. And but I actually, and the reason I connected that is because I met Tom and Rachel through Beast when I was working at the burger spot, and it was in the AMP. And historically it was started as a food truck that popped up in Irvington, and we used to hang out and go there in college all the time, and that was like the best. Very fond memories. So that as a third space, like we would every week we would be hanging out at the food truck in the farmers market, and then I used to every Tuesday was my day off from here, and I would go work with Casey at the AMP. And just
Is Beast a burger spot? Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, I missed that. Okay.
yeah.
So you like went on your day off? You went and worked
I had 3 jobs.
at the burger.
Yeah, and then I worked doubles on Fridays
Yeah.
and would bartend.
So
at
serial
8th day.
dabbler in jobs as well.
Also, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I show up for my people. Yeah, I love it. And but it, like I said, it just got me into so many other opportunities and so many cool, like I don't know how many times I got to work Rev multiple times because I was working with some of my industry friends, and like getting to do work festivals, like working at Treese with SJ and Joey, with Guide and Anchor, and just like I love that stuff. Like in Saraga International Food Festival, yeah, like maybe it's work, but if I have to work, it's the best work in the world to me. So both of those spaces are probably my biggest ones that I'm like, God, I have such a like heartache towards those times because it was such fond memories, and yeah, just great learning and great experiences and other opportunities and connections that came from them. So I love you guys.
Blessed. Oh.
I'm just like swooning. I'm having all the happy feelings about. That was a good question. Thank you for making me think about that.
I love a little self-reflection. You already answered my question from the last guest, so now I have to think of other stuff to talk about. What are you thinking about right now? What are you doing like in your free time? Do you have free time?
Yeah, I actually do make sure I do have free time. I like to read books.
What are you reading?
I'm currently listening to The Night Watch.
The Night Watch.
Yes, and it is a 1940. It's like post and pre World War II.
Oh, is that the one in Paris?
No, that's All the Light We Cannot See. I also do love that one.
Maybe I'm thinking of a different book. I don't know.
But this one has a little bit of like, what is the freedom of being able to come home but not love the person that you want to love? So has a few like, yeah, queer relationships and the dynamics of what it was like to live in that world, and especially being women in the war and after the war. Yeah, so.
I just finished, well, a little bit ago, but I just finished I Who Have Never Known Men. Was that the title? I have it in my
I don't know
backpack.
that one.
Wait.
Wait.
Pause. I just finished this book.
I Who Have Never Known Men.
So this
by
book
Jacqueline Hoffman.
was written by, I want to say a German woman. Oh, Belgium.
Belgian.
Back
Oh.
in like 60 years ago. It's like a very post-World War II book. It's about this group of women who are like locked in this cage. There's like 40 of them, and they're guarded by men. And then one day the men disappear, and they're released from the cage, and like how they deal with like this.
That's crazy.
Deal with that scenario. I don't want to speak too much on it, but
Sure.
It's really interesting to see the themes of, because I think the way I found this book, because this book was really popular last year
Okay.
because of TikTok. But
I
the
don't
way
have
I found it, what do you say?
I don't have the TikTok, so I don't.
That's probably healthy.
I just be missing out sometimes.
The way I found it is because I was doing this podcast and I typed in like books about community. I think probably SEO brought me to this one, but
I was like, that came up? Wow.
it was,
I was like,
that book is
that's-
really dark
that is
and
about
kind of
community in a
depressing,
way.
high key, but it was really inspiring in like a roundabout.
A roundabout way.
About this way, like that people, when you are forced in a situation with each other, the way you come together and you grow as a group of people. And I found it really compelling and interesting and empowering, and also had a lot of like interesting themes about like just like that post World War II mindset about like echoing like what happened during the war. It's like, oh, all the men disappeared, so like how do the women cope with that? Like that type of thing. I thought that was really interesting.
No, I love a good like, shift of like, oh, I haven't really thought about that aspect before. So, and I also actually am I free this year because a couple years ago I did the 52 book challenge, so I was reading a book a week. That was intense. It was very fun. I really enjoyed it.
Do
it got
you
me.
primarily do audiobooks though?
No, I did half audio, half physical. So I had an actual spreadsheet and I just planned out like physical books were the shorter ones and the longer ones I listened to, and I just had to strategically plan them out. But they had prompts for each week, and then so it got you like out of your reading zone, which I appreciate. And this one, this year I decided to do a movie challenge, so very similar. So I'm doing like weekly themes and just only doing 3 movies a week just to be realistic because
3 is a lot.
it is still a lot.
It's still a lot.
But so in my free time right now, I'm watching.
So you've already done like.
I've already done 12.
15
I've
or
done.
so movies.
I'm on like 13 right now because, I still have 2 more movies to watch this week.
What are the top 2 so far? Or if you're into rating, I'm not like into rating, but like.
No, ones I think that, one that I was reminded of like how much I loved was. Or a hot take, I think Wes Anderson's best movie is Fantastic Mr. Fox.
I don't think that's that hot of a take.
I'm like, I don't know. Some people like love Wes Anderson. I'm like, honestly, Fantastic Mr. Fox. I love it, and it's because it's Roald Dahl's story. So it's probably why I love it. It's not even Wes Anderson's story. It's probably why I think it's his best movie, because it's not actually Wes Anderson.
Toxic.
So I was like, it's just his visuals. But like, love Fantastic Mr. Fox. And then the realization I had that like there's a lot of movies like from the 90s that like it was too little, but like they were around, and so like you grow up feeling like you've watched them or you know all about them. But there was 2 movies that I realized I had never seen that like I knew about was Shawshank Redemption. Know all about it. Know the premise, everything. And I realized as I was watching it, I was like, I've never watched this with my actual eyes. Like this is crazy. And like I had this weird like Mandela effect of like, why do I feel, and also because I read The Green Mile, not that they're the same, but like very aesthetically, they're very similar. So I feel like my brain was like conflating the 2 like books and movies as a memory. And so like, but I just watched Shawshank Redemption realizing I'd never seen it. And I was like, how did I get into my 30s?
Did you watch it?
Yeah.
Did it like change your life? Are you?
I am not changed through Shawshank, but I am like, that was really great. And I understand, like I know now, like actually why, it was such just a heavy weight like back in the day.
Let me list some formative movies. You're gonna think this is so stupid. Home Alone.
It's great.
Mighty Ducks.
Okay.
No.
I'm like, okay, yeah.
Have you ever watched the Mighty Ducks?
Yeah, I'm just like, okay.
And Mighty Ducks 2, of course.
Of course.
Of course. Napoleon Dynamite.
Oh my God.
What?
This is so hilarious.
Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
You say you're Libra. This is so Libra. Like, this is making so much sense. You're so just like, these are like this so silly and lighthearted, funny, like.
I love Wes Anderson movies because they're silly and lighthearted.
God.
But I also love my media to be also the most dreadful shit possible. So like, that's funny that I have that sort of dichotomy.
And, but I didn't hate, I realized I did not hate Grand Budapest Hotel because of Ralph Fiennes, because I just love him because I was first, like
You're saying he's the reason you find that movie like digestible?
Good. Yeah.
That's like easily, in my opinion, easily the best one. I don't know.
Yeah, no, and like, I didn't, and like it didn't bother, like eventually I feel like it gets redundant and I'm like annoyed by the end of a Wes Anderson movie. I'm just like, cool, he panned over and said something really abstract and then they're gonna do it again and again and again. And like, so at least with Grand Budapest, I was like, I like the visuals, I like the story, I like the honorable, like the bellboys and whatnot. I don't know, it was just a better movie for me. But the other movie that I realized I had never seen that like, I also love so much was Erin Brockovich.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I was like, I am her. If I was divorced twice and had 3 kids, that is me. I am her.
Who's to say it couldn't be in the future?
I would love to be a small person to take down a giant corporation. I absolutely the hell
What
would.
is Leah Brockovich about?
Erin Brockovich?
Erin Brockovich,
yeah,
sorry.
So she's just like this single, working class mom that's known to like have her little push-up bra and dress a little, scantily in the office or whatever. But essentially, she just is desperate to be able to feed her kids and makes this guy give her a job in a law office essentially. And she starts, they don't think much of her, but then she starts looking deeper into some of these files and questioning things that she's seeing, and realizes that this corporation has been poisoning, like the water has been poisoned in this area and all these people have all these health issues. This is a real story.
I think I have heard of this.
So it's like it's like based off of real life, but Julia Roberts plays. But yeah, like it's a good freaking movie, and Julia Roberts kills it. And I was like, she's a badass, and I love her, and that's exactly who I'd be. And I was like, I'm ready to take down the corpse right now. Like I am her. So yeah, who knows? I could be her. Jalen Roseberry, Aaron Brockovich could be the same.
Sorry, you saying all the movies I listed are lighthearted just lit up like a bunch of other movies. Like
He said formative movies, like things
formative.
that like.
I'm not like. You ever seen the movie Chef with Jon Favreau?
No, but I know Jon
You should add that to
Favreau.
your list.
Okay, I was like, I do know Jon Favreau though.
That is a wonderful movie, also very lighthearted and happy.
You're just so fluffy and nice. I have a score. I'm a Taurus.
All of the Lord of the Rings movies, kind of lighthearted.
Well, that's my number one favorite movies of all time. So.
Really?
Yes. I was like, I have a Lord of the Rings sleeve.
Do you cry at the end?
Every fucking time. You bow to no one? I'm like, yes. I'm like on my knees bawling. I am on my knees bawling. I'm like, are you kidding me? I was like, I don't care. I will do anything Viggo Mortensen says anytime. How could you not?
Are you like a Legolas stan? Or are you like...
Oh, duh.
Okay, wait. This is an important question.
I had a cardboard cutout of him as a kid.
Or not Swan. What's his name in Pirates of the Caribbean?
Oh,
which of those?
Will Turner.
Yeah, Will Turner or Legolas?
He's perfect sides of a coin.
What do you mean?
As Legolas and Will Turner, that's a perfect yin and yang.
I'm asking you to pick one.
I'm telling you, I cannot, because they are a perfect balance of one another, and I choose both. It's just like his masculine and femininity in one person. It's just his two dichotomy sides of himself, and like I just choose him. Orlando Bloom was my first boy crush ever. Legolas cardboard cutout.
I feel like he hasn't aged well.
He's all right. He did choose Katy Perry though, so that was.
No, Katy Perry has chosen Justin Trudeau. Didn't you know that?
Oh well, it's saying he chose her, and I was like, and that was probably where he started not aging as well. Like that was when I was like, that was when his downfall started. But no, I'm like, I absolutely love like Lord of the Rings is a comfort, happy, safe. Oh shit! Sorry.
That's
guys.
okay.
I almost punched you guys in the ears. Sorry, I just punched you guys in the ears. But no, like Lord of the Rings, that was my escapism movie, and I have like, yeah, look, there's the one ring right here on my arm.
You know what? I think I've noticed that before.
Yeah, and I have Bard and Smaug as well.
Another movie. I've only seen it once, but it stuck with me so hard because I saw it at the perfect time of my life, freshman year of college. That's when it came out. It's called Boyhood.
I've never seen it.
Filmed over the course of 13 years.
What?
With the same actors. Yep. They filmed this movie over the course of 13 years, and it takes place over the course of 13 years with the same actors. Ethan Hawke is in the movie, and then a bunch of unknown people.
Wow.
But that movie is it's like a coming of age story, and then it ends when the kid like goes to college, and it like, I think because I was a freshman in college when it played, it was like I have never watched it again. I think if I did, I would probably hate it. But that movie like really like hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that makes sense though. Like it is, like you said, it's the right time. Like I mean, not that like every millennial doesn't love Harry Potter, but I've truly like, I was the same age as all of them every year that the movies were coming out. Mm-hmm. So like, I truly feel like I grew up with Harry Potter. So like, I feel like, yeah, that was like a perfect age for me to be like in that world. So sometimes that stuff it just be hitting a little bit harder for us.
A photo of Daniel Radcliffe hanging out with Megan Thee Stallion the other day, and I said,
like your brain broke. I was like, what do you mean? What's going on
here? I said that to my wife, and I was like, this is me and you.
Oh my God, that's great.
Like
I mean, that's fine.
This beautiful woman, and then me.
And then there's, stop it. Oh, you're pretty too. Don't let anyone tell you any different. Your wife thinks you're pretty.
I think so. Yeah.
No
Shout out to her.
Yeah, she's great.
You've never met her. That's funny.
I know she's great. I'm not doubting it.
Anyways, I think we're getting off the rails. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for coming on. I had a great time.
Yeah, me too. I said I can talk as long as people need me to. So
This will not be the last time we hang out, probably.
I don't
But
think so.
you are a hard person to hang out with because you live on the other side of the world from me.
All these North Siders and their dramatic
I am
exit
dramatic.
of the North Side. I'm like, you do realize it's just as annoying and difficult for us to come to. It's like,
I know.
how about we blame the city planners?
Yes, absolutely.
Let's stop going against
Yes.
one another,
Yes.
and we meet in the middle at
Oh, that's a
Blue
school
Mind.
Blue Mind is not in the middle.
38th Street.
Would you call it the middle?
That's like the middle between here and like Broad 50 something, right? It's like 20
I live
blocks and
I
20
live
blocks.
above 62nd. So
Well,
that's-
geez, you're deep in the rip. I can't help that. I'm like, what? But
I
that's
think
still
I think the perfect
would be middle
latitude
then?
for me is like 46th. Shout out to Anderson, York. Then you're close enough downtown. It's not inconvenient.
Yeah. No, I think so. Yeah.
Although I do go
Around
downtown a lot.
Yeah. Same.
We're really failing at wrapping it up. Hey.
It's the Midwestern goodbye.
Hey, quick insert. I forgot to ask what question Jalen would like to ask the next guest, so I had her record a short recording of the question. So here it is.
What does it mean to be a good neighbor?
Thanks so much for coming on. Can you tell these listeners or
Yes.
watchers where they can find you
Oh,
if you want to be found?
yeah. Like on the social medias, my Instagram is Playtime on the Rock, and that's actually the name of like what my like personal events are hosted under. So if you're interested in those, follow Playtime on the Rock. Or if you're interested in coffee, come to Lincoln Lane, which is at Lincoln Lane Coffee.
Corner of Lincoln and East.
Correct. That is actually like a little slogan we use on the corner at Lincoln and Least. Lincoln and Least.
Lincoln and Least.
Lincoln and East. And then also if you want more community content as well, DATHOUSE. We have our own at DATHOUSE Inc. on Instagram as well. But yeah, just come in and ask questions. And we're happy, as you can see, happy to talk to you.
Maybe a little too happy. Thank you so much for watching or listening to this episode of Third Space Indy. You can find me at Third Space Indy on Instagram or thirdspaceindy.com, where sometimes I write a blog. I really am behind by like 3, but I will get to it, I promise. Thank you so much to Mark Lotta and cityrising.org for sponsoring the podcast. And as always, thank you to Jennison for letting me use your song Scared Rabbit as the intro music. Thank you once again for watching. See you in the next one. Goodbye.
Bye.